Piecewise functions. Piecewise functions are functions who are made of pieces of different equations. An example of this might be if you work for the mall and you're getting paid by the hour. So let's look at a simple little graph. Our horizontal axis will be the hours you work, and our vertical axis will represent your pay. So for the first 40 hours, let's say you're getting paid $10 an hour, which means after 40 hours, you'll have a total pay of $400. If, however, you work more than 40 hours, your pay changes. So your overall pay isn't represented by one graph, but the pieces of two. Because after this, your pay is going to change and it's going to get steeper because now you're going to be paying $15 per hour. So at this point, 40 hours, $400, you change to a new piece which has a new slope of $15 an hour. So if you were to work an extra 10 hours, you would get paid an extra $150. So your weekly pay is a piecewise function. Another example of piecewise functions that are very common are used in taxes. Generally what happens, if you look at your taxes, with our vertical axis being the taxes and our horizontal representing your income. Actually, it's generally your taxable income. But what happens at first is you start off at a very low tax rate, possibly 10 or 15%. For our example, we'll assume a 10% tax rate. So that means our slope would actually be 0.10. Your taxes are going up 10 cents every dollar you make. But after a certain level of taxable income, it becomes steeper. And then you may end up with a tax rate of 15 cents for every dollar you make. And in most tax situations, as you make more income, your taxes become steeper and steeper, possibly going up to a 25% tax rate. So as you make more income, you pay a steeper amount of taxes. This is an example of a piecewise function. Now the two examples I've given you are called continuous piecewise functions or connected piecewise functions. However, sometimes you end up dealing with what's called a step function, which is also a piecewise function. For instance, let's look at an example. Let's say you go out and rent a car. These horizontal axis will be the number of days you have rented your car, and the vertical axis will be the cost. So for our example, let's say it cost you $50 to rent it for the first day and $25 for each additional day. In this type of situation, we would start off with from 0 through 1 day at a cost of $50. Now, it doesn't matter if you bring back the car in 4 hours or 6 hours or 7 hours, you're going to pay $50. However, if you go to the next day, you're going to have to jump up immediately. As soon as 1 day is over, 24 hours clicks, and up your cost will go by an additional $25. So now you're going to pay $75 any amount of time after the first 24 hours through the second, or through the next 24 hours. So from the end of the first day through the end of the second day, you're going to pay $75. So if you bring it back 26 hours after you rent it, you pay $75. If you bring it back 30 hours after you rent it, you're going to pay $75. Once you break into the third day, it's going to jump up again an additional $25. So now you're in day 3, and you're going to pay $100 no matter what time of day you bring it back. This is called a step function, and it also is a piecewise function. So every single step is a different piece of the function. These are 3 examples of common piecewise functions you see every day.